8 Signs of a Stupid Person, Stoic Philosophy. Ever notice how stupidity often sounds confident and wisdom stays quiet? People argue not to understand but to win. They talk louder, not wiser. Marcus Aurelius once said, "If someone is mistaken, instruct them kindly if you can. If not, bear with them." Because the Stoics knew this truth: you can't reason with arrogance disguised as knowledge. You can only protect your peace, your clarity, and your time. In this video, we'll explore 8 clear signs of a truly foolish person. How to recognize them, how to avoid becoming like them, and how to handle stupidity with calm mastery. Because fighting fools drains your energy, understanding them sharpens your wisdom. Stay till the end. The last sign might reveal something about you. 1. They speak more than they think. There's a reason the Stoics valued silence as much as courage. Because a fool reveals himself not through what he knows, but through what he cannot stop saying. We've all met that person. The one who fills every pause with noise, who mistakes constant talking for confidence. They don't ask questions. They don't reflect. They speak only to prove they exist. But as Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, once said, "Better to trip with the feet than with the tongue." Words are powerful tools, but in the hands of the undisciplined, they become weapons against others and eventually against themselves. A person who talks more than they think isn't just careless with speech. They are careless with perception. They miss what's said between the lines. They confuse noise for knowledge, speed for insight, and volume for intelligence. The fool talks to be heard. The wise talk to understand. And the Stoic, he talks only when silence no longer serves. Because to the Stoic, silence isn't emptiness, it's mastery. It's the moment between impulse and control where truth gathers its weight before it's spoken. That pause, that sacred gap is where wisdom lives. Watch how easily people betray themselves when they speak too quickly. They reveal insecurity behind arrogance, fear behind certainty, and ignorance behind confidence. They don't listen because listening means admitting they don't already know. They fill the air with noise to drown out the discomfort of not being the smartest person in the room. But wisdom begins exactly there. In that discomfort, in that humility to say, "Maybe I don't know yet." The fool avoids silence because in silence he would have to face himself. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." That's how the Stoics treated words as moral acts, not casual noise. They believe speech should serve truth or remain unspoken. Every word is a promise, a reflection of your discipline, your clarity, your self-control. That's why wise people often speak less. They are busy observing, refining, choosing. When a Stoic finally speaks, his words carry weight because they are forged in restraint. Look at our modern world. Everyone has a platform, yet few have purpose. People talk to be seen, not to contribute. They argue not to learn, but to win. Outrage becomes entertainment, and loudness becomes currency. But the Stoic doesn't compete in that arena. He values presence over performance. When others rush to speak, he waits. When they demand reaction, he breathes. He knows silence unsettles the insecure because silence cannot be argued with. Imagine this: 2 people in a heated argument. One shouts, waves his hands, desperate to prove he's right. The other listens quietly, speaks once, and ends it. Which one looks stronger? Which one has control? That's the difference between noise and power. Control is silent. Strength doesn't shout. A disciplined tongue is sharper than any insult. The Stoic doesn't need to win arguments, he wins himself. In a world that rewards reaction, restraint becomes rebellion. Don't let noise trick you into thinking it means. Don't mistake confidence for clarity or speech for strength. Speak only when your words add value, not volume. Because wisdom doesn't rush, it resonates. And silence, when chosen deliberately, speaks louder than any speech ever could. Silence is not weakness, it's control. 2. They get offended by truth. A fool doesn't fear lies. He fears the truth that exposes him. The truth has a strange power. It doesn't wound the body. It wounds the ego. Tell a fool something honest and you'll see how quickly he turns red, how fast his pride rushes to defend itself. He'll attack your tone, your motives, your right to speak, anything to avoid the mirror that truth holds up. Because to admit you're wrong requires strength, and strength is something a fool refuses to build. Marcus Aurelius wrote, If someone corrects you and shows you your mistake, consider it a gift. The wise see truth as a form of love, a mirror that reveals what we can improve. But to the stupid, truth is an eye,